YouTube, Rebounding, RBJ2K. Thank you for tuning to the channel. Thank you guys for tuning in another video. Look, I'm stumbling on my words, but whatever. Like, comment, and subscribe. You guys saw the title. You guys saw by the thumbnail. Today, I'm giving you guys my best 6'11" center in NBA 2K26. Look, before we get into it, I just want to say Jesus Christ first always. Go ahead and grab your beverage of choice. I'm sipping on that water. Just got out of church. We're heading towards the Christmas season, so I just want to say happy holidays to all you old and new subs. I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys for tuning into the channel. Thank you guys for supporting it. But let's go ahead and move and jump into this 6'11" center build that I made. I called him Maxime Battier left. I changed his number to 3. He looks like Anthony Davis because I think the defense does tailor to Anthony Davis very well. So I just made him look like that. But this is a Pro-Am comp center. Bring him to the comp show. Bring him to rec. Bring him to Pro-Am. This build could really do it all that a center needs to do in the sweatiest game modes. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump into it. I want to show you guys what I made. I'm going to be a center. Our height's going to be 6'11". Our weight's going to be 231. And our wingspan's going to be 7'5". I've honestly found that 6'11", 231 might be the absolute best place to put your center build on NBA 2K26 if your goal is to be in the sweaty lobbies. You will see this build is very, I would say, limited in aspects like post control, aspects like ball handle. But again, when you're in the comp scene with the Pro-Am, you really want to make sure that you tailor your attributes specifically to that. And what we run is more of a 5-out. So that's exactly what I did. It's not exactly Anthony Davis, but it is on the defensive side of things for sure. Let's go ahead and jump into it. I'm going to start with the physicals. We're going to max out our speed. We're going to max out our agility. We're going to have a 76 speed and we're going to pair that with a 67 agility. I'm just going to pull up the badges right here. And then for our strength, we're going to go with an 83 strength. The most important thing related to strength is going to be this silver brick wall that we're going to be able to get. And our vertical, we're going to put all the way at an 88. Now with a 6'11" center, you do have to keep in mind that you are a little shorter compared to most centers. So in order to compensate for that, we're going to make sure we put our vertical at an 88. You see that does unlock legend pogo stick, which will help you on the defensive side of things. And let's go ahead and move on to the defense before we go into any of the other attribute categories. I really wanted, so in my previous video, I'll give you guys a link to it in the very end of this video, and it's also down in the description, but I made a 7'4" Victor Wembanyama build with a 99 block. I +5 my block from a 94 to a 99. We do the same thing here. The reason why I wanted to try this on a 6'11" build is because, as I mentioned in my previous video with my Victor Wembanyama build, it's very, very slow. So in order to get into better position and in order to get in position for the defense, we want to make sure that our speed is high and we're a little smaller. So we're 6'11", we can move a lot faster than a 7'4" build can. But with all that being said, we made an 89 interior and then we put our block at a 94. And I'm going to show you guys some clips. Now keep in mind, one thing that I want you guys to know, first of all, my cap breakers, so I had a total of 10. One of them is for my build specialization, and that's shooting. So when we get to the shooting category, you'll see I put 1 cap breaker there. I had a total of 9 general cap breakers. And also, I just want you guys to be aware that if you make a build like this, there's a lot of ways that I'm sure at this point in the 2K26, you know that we can finesse the shooting or different attribute categories and get like +10 attribute points with cap breakers. I just want you to keep in mind that when you do this sort of route with a build, you will have to grind out your builds because we only have 2 of the, I forgot the name of them, but they're like, you can jump a badge. I'm blanking on the name of what it's called right now, but you can sort of jump a badge from gold to legend, for example. I only had 2 of those. I believe I put that on Paint Patroller, and it might have been High Flying Denier. Don't quote me on that. I'm going to put a screenshot right here. But the reason why I bring that up is because I was running silver or bronze set shot specialist on this build, because you see, you will see in the shooting, we do jump from 64 to 80 on our 3-pointer. So just keep that in mind. I only am able to get bronze set shot right now. So I would not recommend you do that. Just jump your set shot all the way to silver and then +1 that to gold if you're shooting specialization. But that's beyond the point. We went to a 94 block. We kept the steal low. My past 6'11", 231 build that I made had a steal. I had to give that up because I wanted to have both legend Paint Patroller and legend High Flying Denier. And I will say there is a big difference between a 6'11" having those and also a 7'4", strictly because you're a lot faster and you can get into position a lot better. So with that block, we're also going to give our perimeter all the way to a 72. You see, we do get silver immovable enforcer. This is very important in the Pro-Am because there may be instances where your back end gets switched and you have your center having to play the pick and roll. This 72 is going to help you with that tremendously. Now let's go ahead and move on to the playmaking. So I was able to squeeze an 82 pass accuracy out of this build. I was running Cade Cunningham pass style and I was very iffy. I was even going to do a 75 pass accuracy on this build, but I wasn't able to get other things I wanted, and I tweaked it to be able to get a little bit higher of a pass accuracy. All that being said, this build can throw darts. I don't know if I've mentioned this yet, but I have Cade Cunningham's pass style that I'm running, and honestly, pair that with your high rebound, which you guys will get, I'll get into in a little bit. But 82 pass accuracy with Cade Cunningham, he was throwing the ball very well. I think that also just goes to show, like, maybe it's not as much as the badge attributes and the attributes in general, but more so the animations. So 82 pass accuracy, I was satisfied with that. I absolutely do believe that you can still throw darts, not just in the rec, but in the Pro-Am. And as I mentioned many times already, this build can go to the Pro-Am and is probably going to be going to the Pro-Am in the near future. So let's go ahead and move on to the shooting. This is kind of what I was mentioning. So we go to a 64-3. Don't make this mistake. Don't think, okay, I only need to leave my mid-range at a 54. What you need to do, especially because I'm build specialized in shooting, make sure that you go to a 60 mid-range in order to meet that attribute tier and be able to specialize in shooting. So all that being said, I'm going to apply one of my build specialization cap breakers because I'm only on goal 8 right now. I'm going to add another 2 and I'm going to be able to get an 80, and that's going to unlock this jumper you see on the screen right here. I love this jumper. Now, I will say, I need a PG if I want to hit in this very moment. I need a PG to have at least half dimer in order for me to hit consistently, because having bronze set shot, that's not what you're going to end up with. Don't hear what I'm not saying. You're not going to end up with bronze set shot. But because I jumped the more defensive badges, I only have bronze set shot, so I have to grind it a little bit before I can get eventually silver set shot, and then I will +1 with my build specialization badge upgrade and get to a gold set shot, and that is money. I believe out of all the builds that I made, absolutely the minimum you should ever run on a build is gold set shot if you want to shoot consistently. Now, we do squeeze out an 83 free throw in this build. The Joey 2K 611 build that I made, he had a very low free throw. That wasn't enough for me, so I made sure to give myself at least an 83 in order to be able to shoot free throws in the rec and in the Pro-Am. But let's go ahead and move on to the finishing. My driving dunk goes all the way to an 89, and then I pair that with an 81 standing dunk. We're going to be able to get silver rise up. Our driving dunk's going to be able to get silver posterizer, and we're going to unlock these animations you see on the screen right here. A high driving dunk is very important when you're running a big, not just in the rec but also in the Pro-Am, because you can slip the screen and be able to finish. And I will say, at 6'11", he finishes pretty crazily over defenders. I don't know if crazily is a word, but pretty crazy. So 89 driving dunk, pair that with an 81 standing dunk. You're going to have a lot of fun on this build, and you're not going to have to worry about pretty much ever getting blocked, if with the asterisk of make sure that you're taking good dunks at the right time, and make sure that you're using the meter every time you go to the rack. But for the last and final attribute, the D board, I was able to squeeze. I put my D board at a 94, and then I put my O board at an 80. I've ran 80 on a lot of my different bigs, and 80 O board, you'll be surprised, you can at least snag like 2 to 4 rebounds a game. Now, if you're trying to tailor your build specifically to the Pro-Am, maybe you put this even higher, but 80 O board is what I put on this build. And then I have the 94 D board in the event. I'm at starter 4 right now, grinding towards starter 5. I'm gonna get +3 more cap breakers. Season 3, I'm gonna have the end of the season. Once I get to level 40, I'm gonna have another one, so you can eventually get this build to a 94. I was running, I believe, a 96, and you can get Legend Rebound Chaser. In my personal opinion, Legend Rebound Chaser is more important to have than Legend Box Out Beast. But that's this 6'11" center Pro-Am Anthony Davis type of build. Look, you can play the perimeter. When people see you got a 99 block, they're not gonna try you, bro. Trust me, they're just not. They don't want that smoke. But anyways, this is the 99 build. Let me know what you guys think. Let's go ahead and see what shades we get. He's number 43 right now, but change that to number 3. You see I got the Anthony Davis face scan on there, looking real zesty, looking real cute. Anyways, your archetype's gonna be a backline rim running dunker. I fool with that. They say you got weaknesses, but when you tailor a build for the Pro-Am, you're gonna have weaknesses because you want to do a specific subset of attributes very well. But let me know what you guys thought of this build. If you guys liked it, let me know. Whatever you guys want to see me make next, let me know. Jesus Christ first always, man. I really do appreciate you guys for tuning into the videos, tuning into the channel. If you guys want to see my 7-4 Victor WEMBANYAMA build, go ahead and check it out right here. I love you guys, and God bless. Until the next one, deuces.